Hello and welcome to the section 6, part B of the SAS programming course. So, in this one, we will continue where we left off in the previous part. So, we will cover more examples of the proc SGPLOT. So different examples on how to produce graphs in SAS using these standalone procedures for graphics. In the previous part, we saw already one example that was a simple line plot that we produced using the SGPLOT procedure, and we continue now with this bubble plot. So in this one, we also use the SGPLOT procedure. In addition, we have a where statement that makes it so that we can choose a subgroup for this analysis. So we are not taking the entire profit SAS dataset, but we are choosing only where country is Denmark and here is 2007. And out of that subset, we are drawing a bubble plot. So basically something similar to a scatter plot. We have X variable, we have Y variable, so time. Basically, month is the x-axis variable and profit is the y-axis variable. But in addition to those scatter plot points, we also have the size definition here. So the value of the variable sales will define the size of each marker on the plot. So the larger the sales, larger the bubble that we have. And then we have also defined the titles for this plot. And this is the end result. So we see that overall it seems that the profit is going up as the year goes onwards. Uh, and we see that although the profit is not the largest, but the actual sales is largest in December. Yeah, so let's jump into next example. This one is a box plot. We can also draw box plots using the SGPLOT procedure. And the key detail on how to do this is to use the proper statement again. And if we want horizontal box plots, we can use the H box statement, where salary is the variable of interest. So that's the variable whose distribution we are interested in examining. And then we can also define additional options such as the category. So we are defining that we want a separate box plot for each job title. And that's basically how we get this graph we have here. So we have on the y-axis we have the different job titles, and on the x-axis we have the salary. And we see that it seems that if we go from sales rep 1 to sales rep 4, the distribution of salary, the shape is somewhat similar, but the location is different. So clearly the mean salary level goes up as we go up in these titles. Although we can see that there is some individual outliers in each of these first three ones. So there are some individuals who have really high salaries even with these lower titles. Next example is using reg statement. So that was the one we can use to draw some or add some model into the scatter plot, and the basic form without any extra definitions will give us a regression line. So these are in Finnish, but the x-axis variable is paino, meaning weight, and y-axis variable is height. So we are looking at the relationship between weight and height, and it seems to be some linear relationship. So we have fitted a regression line, and then these additional options CLM and CLI, they produce us the confidence limits, CLM, and then CLI will give us these prediction limits. So some measures of uncertainty for this regression line. Then another example is using this high-low statement, and I think this statement is maybe meant for drawing some plots about the stock market, but we can also use this for other purposes, and here I have used it to draw a so-called dot plot image. So often you might have fitted some statistical model and you have gained estimates as well as the upper and lower limit of confidence interval from your model, and you might want to draw some good image to illustrate the estimates and the confidence limits, and this or this statement is one way to do that, because here we have defined the y variable to be this cos, which means treatment, and then high and low would be the upper and lower, so they are the ends of the confidence limit, and then we can define as the after the slash we can use the close option to define the estimate that gives us this tick here. And then we have also defined that the high cap is serif and low cap is serif, so we also get this little end tick here in the both ends of this line. So this is one way to get this simple dot plot image out of estimated data. Another alternative for the pretty much the same purpose, and we are also illustrating it with the same SAS dataset. So here again we start with the data of estimates. So basically this would be something we might have gained, for example, by fitting the model with proc mixed, and from proc mixed we would have saved the estimates as a separate data set. We actually have an example on how to do that in the next section of this course. Yeah, we had the dot plot example as the previous example, but we can do the same by using this v bar parm. We also have a statement called v bar, but that's for sort of more normal bar charts where you would calculate the length of each bar from the data. But this v bar parm is used for situations where you already have the situation like this, that you already have one value to define the length of the bar, and then you have these other values to define the lower and upper limits of these lines we have here. So here we define that the category variable is this cos, which was the treatment. Then we define that the response value is the length of the bar comes from the variable estimate, and lower and upper variables will give this limit lower and limit upper, and we get this kind of a bar chart as the end result. Yeah. yeah, there's also a reminder that we can draw separate figures on top of each other as long as their axes are compatible, which we also mentioned already earlier. And here is an example of that situation. So in this example, we are using both V bar and V line. So V bar does the bar chart part of this image. Response is sales, that is sum. So these are sums presented in these bars. And then V line is drawn based on variable cost and also sum of that. So that statement will give us this line here. And we have the YYMM, so the month information here. So that will make it so that there will be separate bar for each month. And there's also this curve label that will then give us this word cost here. So the name of the variable next to the line. Yeah. Let's continue with the SG panel procedure in the next video clip.